I'm using the image editing software Adobe Illustrator, and what I've done is I pulled in an outline of the cartoon character Bugs Bunny, and I'm going to work with it inside of this program. You don't need to worry too much about the words that I'm using here. I'm going to be defining all of them much more specifically later on, so you can just watch and get an idea. It's just an introduction here. The idea of a transformation is to take something and change it in some way. Think of transforming, a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, something like that. We're so used to using computer software that we often don't even think anymore about what it is that we're doing. So I can click on Bugs Bunny, move him around on the screen, absolutely no problem with that whatsoever. I can drag on some of these handles here and make Bugs Bunny larger. I can make Bugs Bunny much smaller. If I drag over here and pull back in this direction, I can reflect Bugs Bunny both horizontally and vertically, so I get a picture of Bugs Bunny where he's been flipped over. And if you're wondering, what this has to do with math, you got to think of what's going on underneath the hood, in the sense that the computer is keeping track of all of these locations, the angles, the sizes and so on, because if I hit undo, computer just takes things right back to where they were. I can scale Bugs Bunny in just one direction instead of both directions, so I can deform Bugs Bunny. So if I do this here, what's happening is now I'm just scaling in the horizontal direction, so I get something that's really skinny and long. Or I can scale Bugs Bunny just in the vertical direction, so I get something that's very wide and fat, and I can reflect Bugs Bunny, by pulling up beyond that point. So all of these are examples of something that we're going to be studying a ton, an absolute ton, in the Math 30-1 course, and that's the idea of a transformation. And like I said, we'll be defining these much more in the future. So that's all that I really want to say, just to give kind of a background and say there is some value in what we're studying, because all of these things that we're studying in Math 30 are related to video games where you have characters moving across the screen, image editing software where you're trying to create pictures and create drawings based on those pictures by transforming them in certain ways. So all of this stuff is related to the study of transformations.